Okay, I guess Born in Babylon. Where did you guys come up with the album cover? Because I love it. The album cover's awesome.
The cover, actually, dude, I was Googling SOJA one day, like Google image SOJA. And SOJA, when we tour internationally, this is when we didn't realize this when we named the band, but it means soy, right? Soya. Because of the J, is only, we're the only ones who like do the J like that. And so it's soybean, like everywhere. So you Google SOJA, it's like 50% pictures of us, and then 50% like stuff about soybeans. And that was an ad for soybeans saying like, you know, the cattle, I mean, it didn't look just like that, but it had a pig eating out of the southern hemisphere of the earth. Okay. And I'm like, dude, you can make the top like, you know, and like taking it away from just being about like cattle and how we raise all our cattle in South America and Africa, which we definitely do, and it's fucking awful. And so I was like, dude, put the continent so it's like the rich northern hemisphere, the West is eating out of the. And I was like, dude, and I knew it was going to be called Born in Babylon a long time ago, and then I saw that and I was like, oh, that's fucking perfect. But the way the internet is, you can't, because I wanted to he was a German guy, it was all in German. I wanted to contact this guy, but I think after a certain while, if something doesn't get hits enough, it just disappears. So you can't find the shit anymore. So I'm hoping one day this guy like hits me up and is like, bro, this looks a lot like a commercial I did for Soviet, you know, because I want to like meet the guy and like talk to him and put his name on the album and shit, like inspiration from this dude for the cover. But yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it and I was like, that's, you know, it's perfect. Now, Born in Babylon, I've Googled Babylon. And, you know, I'll come up with I think it was like a city in Iraq. And I think are there other cities that were called Babylon?
Rome is the famous one.
Okay, Rome, okay.
Yeah. Like in the Bible it says that Babylon is built over 1,000 years but can be gone in a day. That's like the phrase about Babylon. And so in the Jamaican culture, well, the Rasta culture mainly, Babylon kind of resembles like the West, right? And kind of like the way that things are now and the opposite of the way they were intended to be, right? So this album is kind of talking about that, the way things are now versus the way they were intended, the way it originally was, but it's from our perspective. So that's why we say like, we're born in Babylon. Like we're talking about this Bob Marley thing, but from the flip perspective.
I don't think a lot of people understand that with you guys. Like they always say, oh, they're just, you know, making shit up or you know, I mean, you interpret stuff differently. Everyone does. And like, you know, they're like, oh, they're a bunch of, you know, white boy reggae. You know, you guys probably hear that a lot. And I'm just like, hey, you know. Now I've read background information of what you guys is, you know, about you know meeting the Rastafarians who live in DC.
Right.
And you know them like just talking with you and.
Yeah, well, they kind of brought us up actually. That was like they took us in when we were like 14, 15. We were at a reggae show and this guy Ras Mugabe rolls up on us and he's like, hey, you know, this and that, you know, and I guess he understood that we were really serious and like we were into the movement and into the whole thing. And so he was like, yeah, come to the Bengi house. And a Bengi house is like where Naya Bengi Rastas like meet and like control their community from.
It's not, so it's kind of like a headquarters, I guess.
Yeah, like a HQ for the Bengi guys. And so yeah, we would go there every Saturday and stay there till like 4 a.m. in the hood, like ride on our mopeds like down Kansas Avenue and like you're just sitting there like definitely the only white people there, definitely the only kids there, probably some of the few of the Americans there, you know, and so we were kind of, what's up, brother? We were kind of like, yeah, but for us it helped us because like we went there for years. We could see how serious they were about like this whole changing the world idea. And how un-hippie-ish it was. Not that there's anything wrong with the hippie mentality, but like, you know, like they would say some shit about changing the world, and then they would do it. Like they would actually do what they were saying. And to us, that was like this cool ass thing where you're like, we gotta get on this. Like these guys they'll have a meeting, make a decision, the next week, the shit happens. And we're like, this is awesome, you know, like it's got such direction. It's not just like great words and flowery talk about the way things should be. They actually do this shit. So yeah, we were impressed by that. And we always take a little bit of that.
Yeah, with no, that's you know a lot. You hear that with like the government. You know, they can talk and talk and talk and talk your ear off, and you're just like, well, you talked all this, but you know, where is it?
Yeah, you know, everybody loves what they say, and they love to hear themselves say it.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's a lot harder to actually do it. You know?
Yeah. I'm gonna skip. There was something that struck me after you. I'm gonna skip one of my questions, but the I Don't Want to Wait. Mm-hmm. Now that single, probably one of my favorites. First time I heard it, I think the first time you guys played it was All Good, 2008.
Yeah.
I was there, and after I think I remember you saying it's a brand new song. We never played it, and I heard it. I was just like, it's a powerful, very powerful song. I was like, after got back, I was like, they need to. When are they gonna put that song up on their MySpace?
Right.
Or, when can I get that song? And then you came out that single, and I'm sitting driving one day listening to it, and Jacob, I probably listened to that thing probably 20, 30 times.
Really?
Just because it hit me so...
Like the lyrics.
The lyrics, man. The lyrics just hit me so hard, and I was like, they need to make I Don't Want to Wait campaign and just drive it in the United States. Basically, I was thinking, I was like, I booked 2 places uptown, 2 small bars. And I was just like, I want to do something, I can't use that. I don't want to wait. I have to, get permission and stuff. And basically, instead of paying, or instead of getting a free beer, you're bringing 10 canned foods. And, that goes to, it's like the one.org or the one, just because I think that's
that's the way to do it. You actually have to do what you're saying. In that song, the first verse, I'm like, they say way back when, knew how. But there's nothing telling you now to do the right and not the wrong, because wrong is easy and right is hard. And we've all got our weaknesses, but only you know what yours is. But for some reason, tomorrow is the only thing that escapes from any of our lips. Yeah. And but it's the truth.
It is.
Everybody's like, that guy's great, but he's a total, this. Or, this guy's, but he's, and then they're like, I need to work on this, but, I'm really going to start on that, maybe tomorrow. I do it too. We all do it, you know what I mean? And I think realizing that and being honest about that is one of the first stages in actually getting some shit done, And, it's like us, we all, everybody gets behind something, but then once you win it, then you kind of are like, whatever, I don't care anymore. But if you lose it, you're like, oh, I'll get it next time, I'll get it. And that's the thing, I feel like we don't get, as soon as you get what you want, you stop. And it's only when you don't get what you want that you actually care about the shit, what I mean? So we need to take that outlook as if we didn't win it and use that when we actually do get what we want,
Now, when you guys play, now the album, you guys have a bunch of special guests on it.
Mm-hmm.
Black Boo, Mama Sauce, who opened for you guys last night.
Yeah.
They do good last night?
Yeah, they're killer. Their album just came out 2 days ago. They're a beast, dude. All over the radio. I think they have the potential to go nationwide and international with go-go music, which for us is a really big deal because we grew up listening to go-go, because we're from Virginia and that's what people play around here. So we heard them and it wasn't covers anymore, it was original. Everyone featured on the album is on there for a reason,
Okay, yeah.
They're all homies of ours.
I know you guys been tight with Revolution for a while.
Forever. Revolution, Mambo Sauce, Fear Nothing Band, some of the members are on there.
Dude, they play. I saw you guys in Westchester, I think it was.
Yeah, and they opened.
That right there, I bought. Dude, I'll be honest with you, their album is good, but them live is just.
Them live.
They need to come out with a live album. I show people I play it in my iPod at work.
But you're like, dude, I wish you could hear them live.
Yeah, you gotta hear them live
They're better dirty.
Oh, God, they jump down, man, on stage and I'm on front row, with 2 of my friends. I'm like. Dude,
they're beasts. They're the real deal. They opened All Good on Saturday.
Yeah, I missed that. It was a long Friday.
Yeah, but they so they're on there. Freaking all our buddies are on.
Now who's
Gentleman and Tamika?
Yeah, I've heard of Gentleman.
Tamika's Gentleman's wife.
Oh, okay.
That's his, and she's also one of the harmony vocalists in Gentleman's band.
Okay, I didn't know.
But Gentleman's a homie. Everybody on the album, and it's funny because. It goes from Gentleman, who's a superstar, to Chris Boomer.
Yeah, who is Chris Boomer?
Nobody even knows who this guy is.
I googled him, Jacob, and I was like, I gotta find who this guy is.
Nobody knows who he is. He's this kid. I was in Guam. I just got off a flight, and we're about to do this big festival in Guam. Well, it was a SOJA show, but it's like a big festival. In Guam, you play a show and 5,000-6,000 people come out to the show. It's crazy. So we get into town. And we're like, yeah, dude, because it takes 20-some hours to get there. It's far as shit, and you gotta change planes a million times. There's a 7-hour flight to Hawaii, and then a 6-hour flight to Guam. And so by the time you get there, your face just hurts. You can't even, you're just what's going on? So we get there, and I'm not tired because I've been sleeping on the plane the whole time. Plus the times are totally different. So it's like 10 o'clock at night when we get there. So like, all right, let's go to a bar, and everybody would go to the bar, a couple of us, and guys are playing pool, and I suck at pool, so I'm just sitting there like drinking a beer. And this like reggae cover band type of deal is playing, like the local band, I guess. Rebel Line is what they were called. And they're singing, they're good, and I'm like, oh, this is a good band, you know, like everybody in it, there's a really good band. And then the backup singer sings one of his own songs, like an original song. Well, not the lead singer. This guy John Plow is the lead singer. It's very good. But this kid Chris Boomer sings a fucking song, and I'm just like, every once in a while you hear somebody play an instrument or sing a song, and you just can't say shit. And I'm just watching this guy, like his movement, his presence, everything. And I went up to him after the show, and I was like, dude, I want to write a song for your band, you know what I mean? Because they were playing a lot of covers. I was like, well, maybe they need some original shit. And he's like, you're Jacob from SOJA, right? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, dude, you're like my favorite freaking band. So here, I'm like, all right, well, come to my hotel room tomorrow, and I'll write you a song, you know what I mean? You can play with your band. So I write him the song. I've got it on my phone, actually, like the recording.
Do you?
Yeah. But so he calls me the next day. And he's like, yeah, you know, my wife's going to drop me off at the hotel. She's going to pick me up when we're done. And I'm like, I didn't think he was going to call. I thought he was like, I mean, I knew he'd call, but I didn't think he was going to be down. So I'm like, all right, word. So I hang up the phone. He's going to be here in 20 minutes. So I'm like, all right, I got to write this kid a song. So I wrote You and Me. And he gets there, and I'm singing it with him, and he sounds perfect. I wrote it specifically for him. And then he moves away from Guam like a month and a half later, and he's not with the band anymore. So I'm like, well, shit, what are we going to do? I was just going to give it to their band, you know. And then I'm like, well, no, I really like the song, and I like the way he performs it, so we're going to do it together. Like, let's just get him on the album. And everybody's like, Chris Boomer from Guam, you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, why not, dude? You know, like, throw him on the album. And then we did it as a duet. Instead of him singing the whole thing, I sing the first verse, bridge, and chorus, and he sings the second verse, bridge, and chorus. And have you heard it?
I have not heard the whole. I have not. Yeah, I tried to get one from your publicist.
Check it out.
And I was like,
I got a copy for you here. It's called You and Me, and dude, it's like it's great.
How do you just write songs like that? Like for me, like I write, mm-hmm. and inspiration. I'll watch the news or something will happen during the day, and it will give me inspiration to write. And I'm sure that happens with you. With I don't want to wait and all that.
For me, all the lyric stuff comes later. I just think of a song. I don't know how that shit happens, man. I used to sing before I could talk. Like my mom would hear me, but I wouldn't let her hear me. Like if she came in the room, I would stop. So she had to like go while my door was closed and listen to me in my crib singing. And when I could talk, it is like this famous story in my family because they all think like SOJA is the greatest thing ever. But so when I learned how to talk, they would like. She asked me. She was like, I don't remember this. This is what she says. She said, what are you humming? Like, where are you getting these songs from? And I was like, I make it up. She was like, what are you talking about? I was like, I make it up. She was like, all right, well, sing me the one you sang, the other night. And I'd sing it to her. She'd be like, all right, sing me the one from like a week ago. And I'd sing it to her. I remembered the songs, and I called them my hums. That's why I told her. I was like, they're my hums. And she was like, they're your songs. I was like, they're not songs. It's just me humming. But yeah, that shit happened forever. And my dad, like, I used to ride around the car with him, and this is before I knew what hip-hop or freestyling or any of that was. And I would just make up stuff while we were riding. I'd be like, there's a great car, put gas in it, it'll get far. Like, just little kiddie shit, Oh, it's driving on the black tar, and, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. And, like, I would just do this, and it would go for hours. And he would just sit here and listen to me, and they clown about it now. They're like, dude, how did we not know that you were going to just write all these fucking songs? But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm lucky. I thank God a lot that the songs just come like they do. Like if I sit down right now and write a song, they just turn it on. I don't know how that shit works.
That's talent.
I'm lucky. It's luck, dude. I can't believe it happened. It's a blessing, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, people are born with there's just some people that are just born with the ability to do stuff.
Thing.
Yeah, do anything. Somebody who can pick up a guitar and just learn it in 2 minutes, or hear a song on the radio. I can probably play that.
Yeah, see, I'm not a good singer and I'm not a good guitar player, but as far as compared to the guys who do it for real.
Well, that's just America telling you who's good and who's not.
Right.
In my opinion.
Yeah. But the songs though, I hear songs on the radio and it's like, or even songs from people who are renowned singer-songwriters, and I'm like, they could have done this better, or they could have done that better or something. And it's funny, I hear my vocals and my guitar playing, I'm like, dude, I know so many people who crush me. But for the songwriting though, I'm very critical of everyone's song. I don't tell anybody, but in my own head, I think that's my thing that I hang my hat on is writing. I listen to the only shit I really listen to is the song stuff, Bob Marley, Paul Simon, Sade, these people who can't be defined into a genre, but everyone knows them because of these songs they write that make people cry and shit. You hear that right Paul Simon song at that right time, and it's you start to cry. I'm like, damn, dude, I want to make people cry. Yeah, seriously, if you ever listen to my love songs, none of them are positive. Nothing ever works out. Everything, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The glass is always half empty for me. I'm the emo reggae artist, you know what I mean? But yeah, Tears is what I couldn't believe it when I would listen, because my dad raised me on Paul Simon, and that was all we were ever listening to. And Billy Joel a little bit, and but yeah, Paul Simon was the main guy. My mom with Elton John, that was all she listened to. So I got Paul Simon and Elton John in my ears when I'm a kid, and those guys are fucking geniuses.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that's kind of it, is that I never wanted to be, Eddie Van Halen, and I never wanted to be Bruce Springsteen. I always wanted to be Paul Simon, which most kids don't want to be Paul Simon, But yeah, I attribute it to my father and the stuff he would play, and a little bit of my mom. And yeah, it's crazy, man.
What now, if you had the opportunity to tour with one band, who would it be?
Right now, I don't know, man. My favorite band being Mars Volta, but I don't know how compatible they are with other people. I don't know. It's a tough question. One reggae band.
Yeah, do it reggae.
Probably Bugle, I think, is the best dude out right now. There's a guy from Jamaica named Bugle, and instead of everything in Jamaica now is about the super dramatic gun lyrics. I'm being chased by 5,000 helicopters. I'm standing on the top of a rock, ready to jump into the ocean. The wind and rain's all pouring down, and shooting an M16 up in the air. It's all very movie-ish. And Bugle does that same style, gangster style, Batman style. But what he sings about is how you gotta, how you doing? He sings about how you gotta the messages that they actually need to hear in third world countries, and the people who listen to reggae who need that message, that uplifting thing. Check Bugle out, man.
Yeah,
He sounds like a gangster, and definitely came up in the hood in Jamaica, and still is spreading this insanely positive message. And his lyrics are so ridiculous that he's a shit.
I love finding new artists. That's
Bugle.
what my life is. Finding new artists.
I would like to tour with Bugle if I could.
Tell us a little bit about your compilation album. I'm sorry to be ignorant about this, but I don't really know.
No. That was Surma Bear. It's Amharic, and there's no actual spelling for it because it's not a Latin-based language, so it's just, we went with the phonetic spelling of what it sounded like. Surma Bear. They say Surma Bear, kind of like that. Surma Bear means root association, and so both the song Be Aware and Faith Works, we remixed over and over, me and the drummer. Those are the two Bobby Lee songs from Get Wiser. And me and Bird, the drummer, remixed a song. Well, we got a bunch of artists that we had worked with over the years, like Fear Not Band and guys that we know, and plus other guys.
A lot of international.
Yeah, guys from Jamaica and stuff.
National.
Yeah. And we just kind of gave them Faith Works or Be Aware, and we're like, dude, get on whichever song you want. And they all got on it, and then me and Bird went in the studio and remixed the shit out of every song, and then that was what it is.
Sweet. Yeah, now your single off that, jeez, I can't remember the name of it. Because I love it. It's what's the single off the?
Rest of My Life is probably
Rest of My Life. That's
my song.
Okay, yeah, that's your song. Now, did you wrote that by yourself as far as?
Yeah.
Now you intended it as For Justice album, or was that a song that you had written?
No, I wrote that to, I forget who does the original of it. You know the song Love Will Tear Us Apart? Fall Out Boy covers it. Don't ask me how I know that, but It's Love Will Tear Us Apart. I think it's David Bowie or maybe Pet Shop Boys. It was in Donnie Darko. And it's a song, love, love would tear us apart again. Love would tear. So I wrote that song to Love Will Tear Us Apart again. And then we were doing the Sur Ma Bear compilation, and I didn't have a song on it. And we were standing outside of a club, Ashkenaz, in Berkeley, California. And we had the rhythm, the Faithworks rhythm, and we played it, and I was like, dude, I could do that fucking song. It says the same chords as Love Will Tear Us Apart. Kind of. So yeah, I was with it. And I didn't have a song on the thing originally, and we were like, dude, we should do one with me, remixing a SOJA song, a Bobby Lee song. And yeah, it became the hit song.
Now, Bob, with your songs, now you guys, talk, but like, do you write your own lines?
Yeah,
okay.
I write all my own lyrics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for Faithworks and Be Aware is kind of like a thing where we were messing around on keyboards a lot, like producing beats. So Bird had this one beat, so I was like, hey, I can be aware to that. And then we all play, I wrote the bass line for it on the keyboard, and then
originally before Sur Ma Bear.
Yeah, before Sur Ma Bear.
Forget Wiser.
Okay.
Forget Wiser. And Faith Works kind of the same way. I just had the idea for the melody, so I was like started playing keyboards to it, and Jake was like, oh, you should change this to this right here. You know what I mean? So
I just sweeten it up a little bit, or make it sadder.
Yeah.
I never make it sweeter. I always just hey, you can cop a few tears if you want with Discord.
You guys play a lot of festivals, or a good bit. Festivals I've seen, the only festival I really hit to is All Good. But you guys got a festival coming up, West Beach Music Fest.
Yeah.
A lot of good West Coast bands. Red's gonna be there. I know Band Pacific Dub, but you guys, they're just starting up. Now, have you ever been to festivals in other countries?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I know you touched on this a little bit, but is it a lot crazier over there, over in other countries than it is here in the States?
Well, in Brazil, it's mad crazy because not too many artists come through there, I feel like. So when an artist does come through, like, everybody in the town comes. And it's kind of the same way in France, too, and in Portugal's crazy just because they love reggae so much. And, like, we just did a beach festival over there. It's like a surf contest during the day and then festival at night. And, man, it was amazing.
Portugal's really
cool.
Is it? Yeah.
They play a lot of reggae on the radio.
Festivals over there are huge, man. Because when you think about it, everything in Europe is really far apart. So if there's like 40 well-known reggae bands in your town for the weekend, you're definitely going to be there. You know what I mean? It's not like you're like, no, I'll just wait